Have you ever had a game of Apex Legends where you're not quite with it? Perhaps you just couldn't get a good rhythm going in your warm-up, maybe you were a bit tired, and no matter how you normally play when you're in a reasonable state of mind, things just aren't quite gelling for whatever reason. And the only thing worse than not playing at your best is when your teammate starts commenting on it, which is what happened to me today, but of course, it would have to happen in ranked. Fortunately, my name is Tagg and I am the greatest gutter tier gamer on the face of this earth, prince of pathetic, royally rueful and incredibly inadequate at gaming. I am no stranger to the days where my reflexes go cold, my wits turn to blended vegetables and my eyes have no intention of tracking pixels on my crusty ketchup stained monitor. Now the game you're watching, it was the first ranked game of my session. Warming up didn't actually go too badly, so I wasn't aware of any problems, but they were about to make themselves known to me. And while I don't normally make this sort of disclaimer, I would highly recommend not skipping any of this video so you can see exactly what happened, because it's a bit of a roller coaster. Dropping into Sorting Factory, I was about to be sorted into the useless category, but I didn't even realise it yet. Now Flatline and Triple Take made me feel like I'd actually landed on my feet in terms of guns, so when I caught a whiff of an enemy Octane, I panicked without a body shield, but once that was rectified, I started to suspect that he was quite possibly out of position and decided to give chase.
Someone took first blood from me. Shot a cardinal bot.
It was at this moment I knew the gutter was calling, but worse than that, the Octane could sense that deep down their pursuer, me, was worse than useless.
Nice.
Nice. How was it nice? And the answer, of course, is that Revenant was engaging in good old-fashioned sarcasm. I'm not a big fan of this kind of behaviour because, well, it doesn't exactly promote a nice atmosphere, but sadly, he's not wrong. It was stupid, and it was only about to get worse from there because, well, I decided not to reload the flatline once he picked me up. Perhaps Revenant wouldn't have been downed if I could actually climb a wall without slipping off it, but we muddled through, and yeah, to be honest with you, it could have been much worse. We may both have taken a dirt nap had my triple take not accidentally hit its mark, which is how it was actually starting to feel. I got lucky by accident, and I could feel that I wasn't firing on all cylinders right now, and by the way, isn't it just the worst thing when you run around without a backpack, knowing how much loot you're missing out on? But that would be the least of my troubles, because my aiming skills were about to descend into the bog of hopelessness.
The ring's closing in a minute. We're not close.
Making contact with enemy. Reloading. Contact with target.
And the ring's not close.
I needed redemption. I needed confirmation that I wasn't carried to Plat 2. Well, that was odd. That was 3 of them down, but the pesky Octane hadn't bled out yet, meaning he may well have been revived by that Watson, or even self-revived. Oh yeah, well, there he was. And just as I was feeling like my mid-air shot was the beginning of my skills climbing from the swamp. Yeah. Oh well.
Extended heavy mag here. Level 1.
With the ring counting down, I didn't want to hang around and get burned, but my teammates spotted a squad behind us, and then there were people rezzing in front. And with a moving ring, there's nothing I dread more than having to make a dynamic risk assessment instead of simply running to the next zone.
That one's done.
Turned out that my squad mate sorted that problem, and we opted to microwave ourselves for a little bit before taking the jump tower to the edge of Geyser. And that's when I made another oopsie-daisy.
Let's explore this way.
Now when I see a highlighted trap, I usually associate it with our friendly caustic. But we didn't have a caustic.
I've got some hits on me.
Stupid.
Find yourself in the shadows.
Nice. Stupid.
Yeah, thanks mate, appreciate it. Calling someone stupid isn't going to help, is it? At this point, I was having uncharitable thoughts about my teammate. I mean, he was right, it was stupid. But that is still an incredibly rude way to talk to your squad. And when this sort of thing used to happen to me in Overwatch, I would instantly play a lot worse than I had been already because, you know, I would think that what's the point in turning around a situation when you've got an ungrateful moaner in your squad, picking at your every mistake? So what happened in this situation? Well,
Spotted. Taking fire. We're back at the totem. Reloading.
Ring far. I think contact with hostile. Enemy over there.
Listen up, I'm getting shot at. Setting shield, you'll be alright. Thermal grenade up. Recharging my shield. I'm spotted. Taking fire. Setting shield, healing ya. Reloading. Very good. We finish off the squad. I've got you. Shields up.
whilst Revenant found that funny, haha, great, all I could think was, when we get to that squad eliminated screen, I'm going to have more kills than you, I'm going to have more damage than you, and then you will have been outplayed by the very person that you thought was useless and called stupid twice. I mean, I am stupid and useless, but position was now going to be everything to me. It was time to move on, and I felt my determination grow.
Careful, no, don't shoot. Careful. Save.
Telling us not to shoot is obviously pretty obvious there, because when two of your squad mates have half health and no shields, yeah, we're not going to do that. But it was good that Revenant pointed out, in case, you know, Wraith did what Wraiths often do, and that is make a great big blooming mess before pressing the power button on their console or Alt and F4ing on the PC.
I need light ammo.
It seemed as though the ring would be pushing us towards Refinery or Epicenter, but we opted to take a line across to the east and skulk our way towards the large station area to do a threat estimation.
Hostile over there.
Round 4 and things were closing into Refinery after all. A beautiful 4x10x digi-threat made the triple take all the sweeter a choice, and then...
Listen up, I'm getting shot at. Reloading.
With the scuffling of squads all around us, Revenant made a power play by slamming down the totem, and I love power plays, especially with that positioning. Alright, we got a little thirsty with that knock, but you know, it turned into an elimination anyway, so that was fine. Revenant and I returned to the aftermath together, this time with a truce intact, but also this time without death protection.
Well,
Open. Watch yourself. There's another squad attacking. Reloading. Boy jumping.
A Kraber and gold body armor raised my expectations from the gutter, but our wraiths seemed to be on their own mission while we remained at the top side of the building.
Need to recharge my shield.
just a scrape. 1 second. I'm spotted. Taking fire. Reload. Just giving my shields a recharge.
Boy jumping. Getting shot at. Down.
This was a disaster. We had to pick... Oh, well, never mind. I half expected Revenant to unleash a barrage of verbal hellish onslaught, but it didn't happen. felt the power of our positioning as we commandeered the upper innards of Refinery, now 2 mines with a single purpose, but we were about to be forced from our dominant dwelling. 2 of us against God knows how many. And that's when I decided to change everything. Was that Wraith all that remained on their team, or were there more lurking? And with another team on the opposite side, I needed to take care of her to find out who was left in this game.
Spotted. I'm taking shots. Firing. Reloading. Shot at.
Reloaded.
Killing it. Back at the totem. Kill leader.
Stop, I'm getting shot at. Reloaded.
GG. And just like that, from fail to success. I was grateful for having a cohesive team, of course, that got the job done, but all I really cared about at this point was not having a disrespectful amount of damage compared to the person who called me stupid. I mean, if I get anywhere near him, I wouldn't have to say another word to anyone ever. But you don't need to see the stats, I'm not one to brag, so we'll just call that the end of the video. Oh, wait, you don't believe me? Oh well, in that case, it's no longer bragging then. It would be proving it. Boom! Not bad for stupid, eh? I dropped my mic, but I can't afford to buy another one, so it would break. Hope you enjoyed the video. Catch you in the next one. Later.